Hi Odella family, this is Matt Patron, and I was asked to put together a very quick video to kind of go over some iReady material. So this iReady presentation here is taken directly from orientation, but I thought I'd split it apart here so you don't have to watch all of the orientation to get the info. So what I'm going to be talking about here is the iReady test that students will take upon entering Odella. So this week, teachers in the English and math classes are giving students the iReady test. The way to get to the iReady test is as follows. So if a student clicks on their left-hand navigation, they're going to find the iReady link there. So if they click on iReady on the left, that'll open up a window that allows them to open the iReady in a new tab. So see how there's that blue button that shows up there? The student will simply click that, open a new tab, and it will open here. So they'll see this screen on their computer, and it will ask them if they want to start with that reading test or the math test. So if they're in their English class, they would obviously start with the English test, and if they're in the math class, they would start with the math test. Now, I should note that per grade level, this might look a little bit different. It looks more kid-friendly for the younger students, and as you get older, it kind of looks more adult, I guess would be the best word to describe it. After that, what a student should see on their screen is the button to click, which is in green, and it has the little brain cloud with the bricks in it. A student would click that. So they would just select that green button then to start the diagnostic. Once they do that, it's going to instruct them to watch a series of videos. So you watch the first video, and it'll start going over the tools that are actually in iReady. So you watch the video, and there's a different video they watch to teach them each tool. So you kind of go through those steps. And you see there's another video here that they have the students watch. Once they get done with those videos, they will come to a screen where it's asking them if they're taking the test in a school building or at home. So you click yes if you're in a school building, you click no if you're taking the diagnostic at home. And then a student would click continue. So again, these are the exact slides that I go over in orientation with the high school students. Then we do cover why they're taking the test. So real quickly, why are they taking this? Because it's going to show the teachers what they already know and what they need to learn. So it really helps kind of guide the teachers based on what the student already knows and maybe the content that they have not yet learned yet. So it's important because it helps our teachers make the best use of a student's time. It's important for students when they are taking the iReady test to truly show what they know, because what happens is we compile that data, and the online lessons then that are created from these diagnostics will match what a student's ready to do and where their cognitive levels are. So the results of the diagnostic decide what lessons a student gets. So that is why we instruct students to try their best on the diagnostic. And one thing to remind students of as they're taking it is that it is an adaptive test. I give the example in orientation that my son came home from school after taking the iReady test with tears in his eyes because there were a lot of things he didn't understand on the test. And it may have been because the teacher didn't explain that the test is an adaptive assessment. So some questions are going to be hard for a student. Some questions are going to be easy, and some questions are going to be just right. So your student should expect that when taking the test. So just remind them that it's an adaptive test and they should try their best and to show us what they know. We do instruct students not to rush when they're taking it, but not to spend too much time on a question that they don't know. So we don't want them sitting there for hours trying to get an answer to a question that they clearly haven't learned the content for yet. So students are going to see things that are too hard, they're going to see things that are too easy, and they're going to see things that are just right. And that's okay. Just tell them to choose the best answer and move on. So finally, just some helpful tips. We ask students to take their time and not to rush. Read each question carefully. If a student gets to a question that they haven't learned, just try your best. Like school, a teacher or family shouldn't be helping with this test. This should be based on what a student knows. And for math, the student should show their work on the digital paper for every problem. For reading, students should read each passage carefully and reread the passage when necessary. And finally, as always when you take a test, just make sure that your student is checking their work before moving on to the next question. So that was a quick guide to our iReady assessment. Hopefully that'll help you out. And again, this is part of our presentation in orientation, but I thought it might be helpful to take that out so you can access this in a smaller chunk. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.